Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to speak about a perfumer and a perfume that I actually really like. I'm not such a fan of the perfumer, at least of her work, and her name is Nagel, and she's the house perfumer for Hermes after Jean Claude Ellena left us all to shrivel. So, of course I'm going to talk about Terre D'hermes Eau Givree. And I have to say that this one really surprised me. Usually, all the outings of Hermes since Nagel is there were not to my liking. H24 is really not my type. I think it's a perfume that didn't decide who is it for? Is it a barbershop perfume? Is it like for the young people? Is it for this? It's like stuck in the middle between kind of like hitting the jackpot, I guess. I mean, it's not a bad perfume, but there is something about Nagel and her interest in mineralic, metallic, acidic kind of type of fragrances that is not really to my liking, but Terre d'Hermes Eau Givree is a great thing. And I was also a fan of the Eau Fraiche version of Terre d'Hermes from Jean Claude Ellena that I have a bottle of it left somewhere and I'm still using it and it's really, really great. It's again this Jean Claude Ellena take and play on grapefruit and black pepper and all the things that make Jean Claude Ellena such a genius. And Eau Givree actually surprised me because I didn't expect kind of a version that will be good. And this version of Eau Givree concentrates around citron, which is from the citrus family. If you kind of like lived or ever visited in the Middle East or the Mediterranean, that's something which you can find on trees and you know what it is, and it's a very important type of citrus fruit. But the thing is that what really interests me about Hermes Eau Givree is the effect it creates. I mean, first of all, it's kind of like a fresh version of Terre d'Hermes. It's a new take, it's a flanker, and it's very safe, very elegant, very manly, very sophisticated. And what kind of like gets me on Eau Givree, that it doesn't really smells like citrus always to me. The use of citron here in the perfume actually reminds me of guavas. And guava is a fruit that kind of like grows in the Mediterranean, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. It has a very, very, very distinct smell. Like a guava tree and guava fruit itself has a very, very strong odor. It means you can smell it for miles. I mean, if it's in a market, you will smell it throughout the market. If it's in your home, you bought it in the store, it will make the whole house smell of it. Some people like it, some people think it reeks. I really like guavas, I like smelling them, and I like eating them because they're very, very yummy. And Eau Givree starts with this burst of citron that smells to me like a guava fruit, and that is something which is very peculiar because I was sure that Nagel used guava in this fragrance, and yet then it develops to the aroma of citruses and black pepper and kind of like lingers and becomes something which is very elegant, very sophisticated, and manly. It doesn't really bore you. There is like a new take where the Eau Fraiche, I could say I really love it, but it smelled back then. It could smell a bit like a granddaddy, you know, like it could smell like an old man in a way, like the take on it. There was something a little bit old man kind of thing, old world of it, which is not a bad thing. I actually like it. I guess because I grew up smelling my dad using all this like legends from throughout the years, from Guerlain and from Dior and all these daddy perfumes. And Eau Givree, it starts off with a nice metallic, cold blast. It gives you a feeling of an ice cube of coldness, but like herbs, you know, that were kind of like suddenly hit with a frost and then the air of the frost came to you. There is something very refreshing about it, like as if you're taking a sip of something really cold with lemons, but it's not this feeling of something juicy. It's not juicy. It's just very cold, frosty, and it gives you kind of like a zap, you know, like it makes something, it makes you feel refreshed, and at the same time even though it's a cold perfume, and it's a perfume that is very leaning to Christine Nagel's take on things, which is always cold, mineralic, and kind of like acidic and stone-like, if it makes sense. There is still something warm in the heart of it. And I think that depends on the wearer. There's something that refreshes you and maybe will refresh people around you, but it will also tell them like, come in here, smell me. And that is a great thing for summer because you don't want to be really intrusive and you don't want to be like all over the place, but you want to give people that feeling of, ooh, he smells really refreshing. Maybe I should lean to him. He's like a breath of fresh air here in this humid weather. And that is a great achievement. Now, to all of you who are interested, Office Safe projects really well. Day, night, it doesn't really matter. I think you can also use it in winter. It gives it like a very interesting take when you have a cold wind on it with its metallic and cold properties that Christine Nagel said she was looking for. And I think it's a really, really great substitute to the Eau Fresh that was discontinued. I think it's a younger vibe. It's far more cohesive in a way. So for that, I will say Christine Nagel did a really, really good job, and I think it could have stand on its own as a new line, maybe with a bit of more work than H24, that I find a little bit boring and unfinished. And I don't know, there was something going on with this launch of H24 that many people hated on, and I think there's reasons for it. There is something which is weird about H24 that doesn't really go well with the people. But Eau Givree is a great thing if you want to treat it as something new from Hermes. I think it's still a hidden thing from the whole line and the flankers. I don't know if many people are using it or talking about it, but you should definitely go and smell it. It's really great. It's really refreshing, and it will make you feel like a good ice cube in the middle of the heat where people just want to lick you and feel that lemon. That was my review of Terre D'hermes Eau Givree. If you liked it, please press the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!